It's been a while since you made a record. It was like 4 years ago when Pet Cancer came out. It's a really great record. It's interesting that you had Soft Pink Truth remix.
That was kind of a coup because I had done that with Snacks and I was happy with that, but then it had come out in K48 and it had come out in Gigolo. But as far as like a vocal track, I was into it. But so I've been wanting to work with you for a while because I really like the work you've done with Soft Pink Truth with his first record and now his second record, which is coming out at sort of the same time. And so it was really last minute, and he had just asked me like, "Oh, send me the vocal tracks," which actually I didn't have anymore because I lost them in a computer crash where I lost all my files. So I just went in the kitchen and recorded it one night and then sent it to him, and then like a week later he sent me a remix, which was like a totally different track, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's sort of like compact but like poppier than what it usually does, but I think it has the same quality, which I've been striving for in my own production because it's so tight and varied at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You also re-recorded the kind of underground hit that was on Pet Cancer, the album 4 years ago, called Inside the Sleep Pavilion. And it's got such an interesting, different kind of emphasis throughout. What was the idea for re-recording the one song that was probably best known?
Well, I wanted this album to be what I felt was lacking from Pet Cancer, which was collaboration and bass, which were the two things I didn't have access to at the time, and so I wanted to take my weaknesses and transform them into my strengths. Pet Cancer didn't really get the sort of push I had wanted, and that was the song. But also production-wise, Pet Cancer was like 2000, and I was sort of coming from an indie rock background, and now to me it seems slow, draggy, and lacking in bass because I didn't actually have a bass, so I would just detune the guitar an octave or two and then try to emphasize, but it doesn't really have that same quality, whereas this time my roommate had a bass and I never used it before. I just plugged it in, turned everything up, and in the state I was in it seemed really punishing and primal or something, like the same quality I wanted, overdriven but not to the point where it was like grating noise, and so I just kind of went with it, and it turned out. And so then I started mixing and sort of just tweaked it and went into this zone where I sort of felt like, you know, that's what dub is basically, like live recordings of effects on bass, and kind of started going, which I'd never done before, never even thought about, and I felt like this Sun Ra was like inside my head, and I could see like this third eye like figure like gesturing to me and going into the cosmos, and then the next day it was halfway there.
Yeah, there's a kind of a quality to that, but it's still the album is still just so you know, and that was really nice to hear that it's you just sort of took things here and there that you wanted to, but it's still, you have a very definite vision, different idea of what you want to make a record to sound like, you know.
Well, that was the scene that was around me, and so I was playing the same clubs and friends with the same people, and went to the same parties and was there, but yet still never like really fit in. I sort of felt like an outsider in all of that, and which ultimately was a good thing because well, I mean, it felt like sort of insider music, and for me, my music experience has always been in the fringes, and it's never been trying to be at the center or the core. It's always been in the periphery. But I mean, maybe that's like the writer perspective, because before it was a musician, it was a writer, and the writer is sort of an outsider. But at the same time, I want to combine both of them, and I'd like to take the best of the insider world and the best of the outsider world, and both those perspectives, and like throw them at each other and have them reflect. And